The processes I'm mostly going to talk about this morning are going to be how to get your business better. I don't want to talk so much about, or even the next couple of days, how you got to where you are now. That to some degree, it's a sunk cost. That was then. Hopefully you learned some lessons, but you need to let that go. If it's been a rough road up to now, okay, like you're smarter now. Hopefully you learned some lessons. But if you're too obsessed on that, you're hurting yourself. You got to let that go. You're starting from an as is, where you are now. And the thing I learned working with big companies, which applies to myself every day, is for most of the time when people talk about planning or business, they talk about having a goal. If you don't know where you're going, you're not going to get there, blah, blah, blah. And that's all true. That's all really good stuff. However, the thing I learned with the data thing was I could explain exactly how companies could manage their data and leverage their data and do all the stuff Google does now every day. That when I was talking about it, I was just, you can't do that. That's crazy. But just describing the end state, even if they got it, it didn't get anybody there. You had to break down the steps, a procedure to take you from where you are now to where you want to go. So where that's important in all of our lives is those two things have to balance. It's easy to spend some time thinking about what you want, your goals. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. The problem is it throws the teeter-totter to a crazy off-tilt. You're not going to get anywhere. You have to also break down how you're going to accomplish that. If it's a far-flung 2-year plan, that's too much to bite off at once for a lot of reasons, including the world will continue to change over the 2 years. It will not freeze at this moment for you to then execute your master plan. So you need to break it down to shorter steps. Talk more about that later. And you need to think how you're going to get there. The larger companies I worked with, their teeter-totter would often be tipped the other way. They had processes and procedures and forms and managers and administrators. They would just keep coming out of the woodwork, falling from the sky. They had remarkably well-constructed process, but you couldn't, they focused on that. Everything was well filled out and documented, but there was no goal or vision where they wanted to go. So at all times, you need to keep both those things. A very poetic Ralph Waldo Emerson. Again, when you quote Deming, now you got to give up a soft quote. So you're not just a technical guy. Life is a journey, not a destination, is a wonderful life goal, and you should probably live that every day of my life. If I don't say this, something like this, there's not a single day I don't make sure I have 5 to 10 minutes of fun. Worse, I'm doing something I enjoy right now. I'm consciously. Today was a good day. Business doesn't work that way. Business, if you want success in business, it's a series of destinations. It's a series of things that you accomplish, things that you have, the verb that got you there, the process is interesting and you need that. But if you focus on the journey, you're not going to get to the things done or acquire the things that you need to acquire to get there.